So what we have is we have a partner, Tech Mahindra, and Tech Mahindra is a global SI company. They are $3.5 billion in revenue and global 51 offices worldwide. And I have Raju Desai, who manages their DevOps practice with me. Raju?
Sure.
Welcome.
Sure, thanks.
Oh, that's for me.
Thanks, Ankur. Definitely this is an encouragement after Gene Kim's session, but at least I won't have to take too many selfies. So thanks, Ankur, for the introduction. As he mentioned, planning to spend a lot of time on what DevOps is. I'm sure in last 2 days, you must have heard all of these things. Most of these are already repeated in the sessions. Jin did an excellent job of explaining the concept of DevOps. So what I am rather planning to focus on is the how part of it, how a SI like Tech Mahindra can actually help the acceleration, the adoption of DevOps in an IT organization. So that's the focus. As we move along, I will touch upon what are the few levers that are important for a successful DevOps adoption. This is a quick abstract of what you will see in the coming slides and some of the things that we would be discussing rather. Feel free, I would like to be this as much interactive as possible. For any successful DevOps implementation, there are at least two key things that any IT manager would like to have. One, they will have to pick up the right technology that works for their company. Two, they will have to work preferably with an experienced SI who can really bring in the people and the process part of it. So I think that is what we will focus on. That is the reason we have Ankur here from CA to really do this presentation jointly. The other DevOps success factors are people, process, and technology. While CA has great technology to support DevOps in many ways, for a successful adoption, people and process aspects are equally important. There are the cultural issues. Every organization is different. DevOps means different things for different organizations. So that is the core focus of the platform that Tech Mahindra has built, to really focus on all three building blocks of a successful DevOps implementation. How do we do it? We do it through a repeatable fashion. We do it through a methodical way. We do it through a platform called Adopt, which is Tech Mahindra's Agile DevOps transformation platform. We believe every organization will have to go through DevOps transformation, not just one implementation, not just two. They will need to transform their entire IT. And in order to do that, they would need a lot of tools, technology, and platforms so that they can do it faster, better, and in a consistent fashion. And that is exactly where DevOps fits in. Let me start with a story. How did Tech Mahindra really gain so much of experience compared to our other competitors and really build a platform which can help accelerate? This is exactly what happened a few years ago with a North America Tier 1 telco. iPhone was game-changing then. It is still game-changing. I hope there is no Samsung folks sitting out here. But they launched this iPhone to their storefront, and in 36 hours of their first launch, their e-commerce storefront across all the channels crashed. Huge volume, huge demand, and the question was whether it was dev or ops. That is where we started. We were a premium partner with that client out here in North America. That is where we actually begin our journey with that customer, identifying the gaps, identifying the value the dev and ops can bring in, identifying the processes that can help solve this problem. You don't want to get on a 2 a.m. call where people are finger pointing on what went wrong, whether it is the code bug, whether it is the operations, whether it is the server, what happened. And that is where we began the journey. One thing led to another, and today we have a very mature DevOps practice with them. Let me step back. While we have solved the problem, we gain the experience, and we put all the experience so that our other customers can get benefited. Let me step back and maybe brush upon few fundamentals of DevOps while Jin has done most of the talking, so I will just focus on the fundamentals here. There is always this question, I don't mean to offend any IT director or anybody who's representing, but there is always it depends on whom you ask. When you go and talk to business customers, they always feel they need something, they have a business idea, they want to get it implemented as soon as they can. They always have this notion that IT doesn't move as fast as their customers, right? When you talk to IT, they have a different perspective. They always lived in a constrained environment, right? There are constraints. There are constraints in availability of systems. There are constraints in, maybe DevOps is a constraint on how the organization is structured. There are constraints in how complex solutions they are delivering. New technologies are coming every day. The way IT looks at it, IT has adopted Agile in the development side. They are Agile. They do more releases. They want to do sprints. They are delivering more and more. Where you look at Ops side of it, not a lot of transformation has happened. Ops is still more or less static. The answer is very clear. IT has to overcome these challenges. It is definitely an enabler. The key is, while everybody knows the fundamental of DevOps, the key question is, how can they implement DevOps in their organization? DevOps can mean different things for different people, and that is exactly why we are here as a SI to help solve that problem. As I mentioned earlier, there is no doubt IT is an enabler. DevOps is a vehicle through which they can actually achieve the acceleration and meet business expectation. Three things: time to market, quality, and cost. I think there can be elaborated list, but these are the three key primary levers that business would want to achieve, and DevOps and business alignment really makes this happen. When we talk about DevOps, what are the couple of things that if we do it right, in an IT organization, we can say that yes, we are a DevOps, we have adopted DevOps, and we do follow, implement, practice DevOps. Couple of things: Agile. I don't want people to confuse Agile with DevOps. Agile is core to DevOps. But it has limitation. It is mainly in the development environment. You do sprints, you can do more coding, everything. How can you do continuous development and testing? Agile is a methodology that supports that to a larger extent. How can we do continuous deployment all the way from development to operations? How can we do continuous collaboration, whether it is requirements tracking, whether it is a code change which leads all the way up to a deployment change out there, collaboration? How can we do continuous monitoring? It's a feedback loop, right? If you deployed something, it goes out in production. How do you monitor, and whatever findings we have, how can we feed back into the entire DevOps closed loop feedback? Apart from these things, we also have technology which is moving, whether it is cloud and all those different tools that you can get. Most of us operate in a global delivery model, so that adds to the complexity. There is near shore, there is offshore, there are people out there. How do you really communicate your values out there? How can they really embrace the DevOps technology? Do they have the right tools? Do they understand the business goals, the organization strategies, guidelines, imperative? Most important, how do you measure? It is the KPIs that you define. This is what our view, Tech Mahindra's view of continuous delivery is all about, right? Shift left, start with a sprint in development, you build something, you have continuous integration between dev and build, You have continuous testing going on. We use technologies like Lisa virtualization to enable that. But it is all about continuous delivery. All these little aspects, we can either do it in silo or all put together is what continuous delivery is all about. And it is just not the processes, it is just not the technology. It is all people, process, and technology. CA has a great technology. We work with them closely, but process and people are key to success of DevOps. Process like agile roles. Any organization which is agile, you have to have a scrum master or whatnot. There are different roles that you have. Processes, we bring in the best practices in agile DevOps, and then the technology part of it. And of course, while CA had great technology which is in nucleus of DevOps, there are many adjacent technologies, open source, that an organization may already have. Tech Mahindra brings in that value to integrate them to really create an end-to-end DevOps story. Easy said than done. This is all about what we call in India Gyan. These are all concepts. Everybody wants to do it, but how do we do that? You may have questions like, what is my agile maturity? Maybe some of you are thinking right now as you are looking at this presentation. How do I measure efficiency? How do I establish product-based delivery organization? Every organization is delivering to their customer. It is a product. We have the answer. Tech Mahindra, through their experience, we have templatized some of these things. We have practices, we have IPs. For example, we have Agile Index of Maturity tool. We can come in, we can work with you, we can exactly tell you what is your IT organization's Agile maturity. We have DevOps assessment tool. We can exactly tell you in a given organization what is your maturity. Second part is the tools. The first thing takes care of people and process. We have a dedicated tools practice. You have a plethora of tools today. Pick up SCM, you have 10 tools. Pick up virtualization. While CA is the best, you still have their competitors claiming that. To pick up build, you have open source, Maven, Jenkins, whatnot. Are you confused? Is release automation complementary to Jenkins? Is it really a competitor? How do I leverage the existing tools I have? All these questions are valid. They can be solved. Tech Mahindra has extensive experience where we have DevOps Tools Center of Excellence, where we know which tool is complementary, which tool is competitive, how 1 + 1 can be 3, how can you integrate them to really deliver continuous delivery. We spoke about people, process, technology. We spoke about individual IPs. What we did was, through the experience with our customers, we packaged this all together in a single platform to bring to our customers the enabler, which is the Agile DevOps platform. It is people, process, technology under one umbrella. It is pre-packaged yet extensible. It can work with your existing tools. It has agile templates. You don't have to redefine. You don't have to Google. You don't have to hire a consultant to tell you what is an ideal definition of a Scrum. Are we really trying to deliver too much in an agile pod, or are we delivering too little? All these things, industry best practice, our experience, are accessible, available to you through a portal that we have built together. All you have to do is just select this process templates, best practices. We have reference implementations. We have CA as a reference implementation. If you have other technologies out there, open source, we can integrate CA tools with them as well. This is more of a block diagram of how this tool looks like. It is a busy slide, but what I want you guys to focus is on the bottom of the stack, where most of you guys focus, or CA is doing an amazing job of bringing the right tools and roadmap, are all the tools that are available out in the market today. all the way from Jira to Jenkins to Puppet to Chef and all the tools, right? These are complementary tools as far as we are concerned. For end-to-end DevOps, there are few technologies that you can really have a great ROI right there. For example, CA, service virtualization. That is one tool in a given constraint environment, you can have quick wins. But if you look at the entire suite of products that CA has, they actually support, and in my knowledge, this is the only one company which supports end-to-end products all the way from planning to application monitoring and a closed feedback loop. So the platform that we have built, we have embraced to all CA technologies here and complementary technologies, most of them are open source, where we can start all the way from planning to virtualization to automation, which is the ops part of it, all the way to monitoring and have a production continuous feedback. There is a lot of collaboration. If you see, you have discussions going, you have Wikipedia, you have documentation, reports, all the matrices you have. So all you have to do is you have a requirement, you go into this tool, you create a project, you create a sprint, and from here on you can drive your DevOps. It is a definition of the sprints, it is the best practices, you allocate work to your developers from here, they come in, they look at their agile, Scrum log, they code, they commit, it goes bad, it kicks off the continuous testing behind, continuous integration, all together in a single platform, which can be, again, as I want to repeat, it is, I don't want you guys to feel that this is too much for my organization. This is extensible. It can be as lightweight as you guys want, it can be as heavy as if you really are on your way to DevOps journey. It's integrated ALM, all the technologies supported. And as I mentioned, we are using most of the CA technologies to power this platform. And having said that, Ankur, if you want to stress upon how CA technologies are really helping transform the DevOps space, I think maybe if you can do that.
Can you guys still hear me? Am I on? All right. Could you go to the next slide, please, for me?
Sure.
Thank you. Was anybody here for the Gene Kim presentation? Did anybody? So he had one slide of Spark and Scotty, and basically, one guy. Now, if you map it to what's happening today, or not today, but in Star Trek TNG, it was Geordi who had the Scotty's role, and then Riker on the other end, right? So every time they called, and Geordi would say, how much time will it take? And Riker would say, how much time will it take? And Geordi would go like, I need 10 minutes. And Picard would say, well, you have 6. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I come next time, and I say, it's going to take me 20 minutes. Well, you have 10. Now, if I'm Geordi, what am I going to do next time, right? I mean, we all know I'm going to tell you, it's going to take me like 5 hours. So you have 2. Okay, now I have 2 for 20 minutes worth of work. I'm done. But the fact is that business keeps asking for more and more things in shorter and shorter time frame, and that's just a reality. So what we do at CA is that we have these tools that stretch both on the ops side as well as on the dev side, and starting from plan all the way to operate. And I'm not going to go into details. I'm sure you have heard enough from us about every one of these. But the key thing is, when it comes to schedule, when it comes to resources, when it comes to doing things better, faster, then CA tools plug well with Tech Mahindra's philosophy of adopt, and then deliver the results that you're looking for. So it helps you through your DevOps journey.
Sure. Thanks, Ankur. Having said that, just a quick slide of emphasizing on what investments we have made around the CA tools for DevOps. We have dedicated center of excellence. We have access to their products. We are also very proud to say we are also their engineering partners. So we are helping them develop some of these tools ourselves. So not going to go through each and every line, but we have pretty much any tool that CA has in DevOps space. We have competency, we have people, and we have IP. For example, we have built verticalized solution, service virtualization. I will take that example. We have worked with many customers for SAP or mainframe or SFDC. We have invested and built solution and adapters that will help accelerate DevOps. That is, the adopt is all about acceleration. Everybody can do it, but you don't want to wait for 9 months to achieve that. We have built these adapters in our lab along with CA. So next time, any one of you have SAP implementation, we have adapters where if you want to really do virtualization, we have built those adapters right there, which is accessible to you guys. You don't have to do a professional services engagement with us, we want that to be a reusable component. So that is part of our center of excellence as well. While all this is good, I think the most important thing is the experience SI has. There is a lot of buzz going out there. Is this too good to be true, right? There is always this question. We have our competitors all over the place. Why Tech Mahindra? I think everything boils down to the experience that we have. These are some of the customers with whom we are working, or some of them are prospects. We have done various engagements with them. We have done consulting with them where we have helped define their DevOps maturity, where they need to go. We work backwards based on the IT programs they want to deliver 9 months, 12 months ahead of time. We work backwards. We advise them whether they should do service virtualization first, whether they should do release automation, what is that they will get the best value. Point solutions. While DevOps, you can do a lot of things. If somebody is interested just in a point solution, that is what we do with them. Outcome-based engagement. If we really believe this concept, just not the hype there is in the market, we have customers with whom we have signed large outsourcing deals where we put our neck on line on some of the KPIs of DevOps. Time to market, quality, cost, and we define a mutual KPI with them. That's again a model. DevOps is also available as a service. You guys don't need to invest in tools, technology, where you guys believe you will be stuck, or SI can come in, advise, what if it doesn't work, how do I really take care? This can be offered as a service as well. So there are various models. We are flexible depending on, these are some of the models that have worked well with large enterprise customers where scalability is one of their key imperative. But that is an array of capabilities and offerings that we have in this space. I would quickly pause if you guys have any question. That is all that I had in mind. We have a booth right behind you. If you have follow-up questions, we'll be available there throughout the day and tomorrow morning. Is it good? Too good to be true? Been there, done there.
Heard that story before.
Okay, thank you all for coming and hope to see you at our booth soon. Thank you.